Hello everybody and welcome to Hong Kong International Airport. A couple weeks ago, I published a review of flying Cathay Pacific from Seoul to Hong Kong. After that flight, I connected onwards to Singapore, also in business class, on Cathay Pacific's A350-900, which is what I'll cover in this video. After I arrived off of my previous flight, I had to go through transit security before I could get to the main airside area. Transit security was well signed and relatively quick. Airside at Hong Kong International Airport, there looks to be plenty of duty-free and shopping, including plenty of high-end stores, and there's also places to get something to eat or drink. With a One World Alliance business class ticket, I believe you can basically use any One World Alliance or Airlines business class lounge, and Cathay Pacific is part of the One World Alliance. So on this occasion, I checked out both the Qantas Lounge and the Pier Business Lounge. I'm not going to go through them in detail, since I just recently reviewed these lounges in detail, both in my review of Qantas A330-300 economy class. So if you want to see the lounges in detail, feel free to check out that review. I went to the Qantas Lounge first, and once the cheesecake stop was completed, I started making my way to the Pier Lounge. But I went via the Sky Bridge, which is incredible. I wasn't able to spend much time in the Pier Lounge, but as usual, it had an incredible selection, a great vibe, and friendly staff. It's an incredible lounge that I would recommend visiting. My ride to Singapore will be Bravo Lima Romeo Romeo, a 2017-built Airbus A350-941, which was delivered new to Cathay Pacific. Cathay Pacific's fleet currently includes 48 A350s, including 30 of the -900 variant and 18 of the -1000 variant. Boarding was done with 4 different classes. First, business, premium economy, and regular economy, and the equivalent One World status, as there actually isn't first class on Cathay's A350s, but there must be enough people with One World Emerald to still justify having its own lane. Boarding started slightly late. After a friendly welcome from the crew, welcome on board Cathay Pacific's A350-900. When I got on board, I thought, wow, this cabin looks nice. A huge upgrade from the A330 regional business class. Business class on this aircraft features 38 Safran Cirrus 3 seats, which are in a 1-2-1 reverse herringbone pattern. My seat for this flight will be 18K. Waiting on my seat was a pillow, and in this compartment there was a bottle of water and some headphones. Notably missing, compared to my flight from Seoul, was a blanket, but they seemed to be available upon request. Now, let's take a quick look at the seat features. Up there's a coat hook, and down here there is a literature compartment. From memory, this part of the seat does come up, but I didn't figure that out until later. And this thing pops up, which I think is supposed to be put up when you convert the seat to a flatbed. It's a nice big seat, and it feels particularly great lengthwise. This button is for the in-flight entertainment screen to pop out. Welcome drinks were offered, with options being champagne, water, orange juice, Cathay Delight, and I think there might have been apple juice too. On this thing here, you'll find the remote for the in-flight entertainment screen, which also seems to include some other controls. There's a reading light, and there's the seat controls. In this compartment here, is where the headphones and water bottle was. In there, you'll find a universal power socket, as well as a USB port. There's a little storage pocket here, and a mirror above it. Here's the tray table. In here, there's a storage compartment, and there's plenty of space under here where you can put things. Like on the last flight, separate menus were provided for both food and beverages, which is a nice touch. Hot towels were offered before departure, though it was quite hot on board. While the hot towel was appreciated, I personally would have preferred a cold towel at that time.
We have the Senior First Officer, Sagong, and we're also rather fortunate to have a selection of Cathay's finest cabin crew serving you on the watch flight. They're very charming and polite service managers. As your safety is very important to us, please take a moment and pay attention to this short presentation. The engineers are just finalising some details here on the flight deck, and once that's done we'll be underway. Flying time 3 hours and 4 minutes. I don't plan to talk to you again until prior to descent into Singapore, where we'll update you on the weather and our arrival time. So until then, please enjoy the flight and make the most of Cathay's wonderful in-flight service. Thank you.
Before pushback, I was addressed by a last name and had my order taken.
Flight Service Manager today, on behalf of Cathay Pacific and our team, we'd like to warmly welcome you aboard CX711, our flight to Singapore.
Welcome aboard Cathay Pacific. Your safety is important to us, so please take a few minutes to watch the following video as we present the safety features of this aircraft.
Startup approval time is expected to be about 25 minutes past 5.
It sounds like the engineers are unable to fix the Wi-Fi, but we've now missed our pushback time. I thought the in-flight entertainment screen intro was really cool. At one point, while on the ground, the crew came around with ice water.
Departure in Croatia, thank you.
The cabin crew seemed to rush to get the cabin ready for departure again. It's now time for pushback, almost 55 minutes late.
Cabin crew, pre-takeoff checks please. Once again, ladies and gents, a gentle reminder, please make sure your mobile phone or cellular functions are in the airplane mode before we take off. Thank you.
If you enjoy the content I put out on my channel and are enjoying this video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. It would seriously help out me and the channel so much and would be very much appreciated. But if you don't want to, that's completely okay. It's now time for takeoff on runway 25 left. too long after takeoff, warm nuts were served. The Sprite I had ordered earlier followed soon after, and soon later, a tablecloth was laid out. The appetizer was soon served. Not long after the appetizer was served, a bread basket followed. I got some bun and also garlic bread. The main appetizer was a Parma ham with olives, tomatoes, and I think marinated bell pepper. There was a seasonal salad served on the side. I think this was balsamic vinegar as a dressing to go on it. All of this came with the jasmine tea I ordered earlier. The main appetizer dish was tasty, and the side salad was once again my kind of thing, and very tasty. Both of the breads were tasty too. Moving on to the main meal, which is apparently from a restaurant which I believe has 1 Michelin star. I'm just going to call it the fish rice, but you can see what it's actually called on screen now. The rice, the sauce, and the veggies were pretty tasty. Unfortunately though, I thought the fish was pretty average. Certainly not bad though. Maybe it's just not my kind of thing. After I had finished the main meal, I was offered fruit and cheeses, an offer which I accepted. The cheeses seemed to be a blue cheese, a cheddar cheese, and something like a Comté or a Gruyere. The fruit platter was tasty and seemed fresh. Now, let's take a look at the in-flight entertainment system. I did think that it seemed to have a different system and selection to the A330 I was on. It seems to have a wider selection. There's also a great in-flight map, a couple onboard cameras, and live TV are some of the more notable things, in my opinion at least. Once the service was finished, the cabin lights were dimmed. I later decided to get a Hong Kong style milk tea. Here's a quick look at the beverage menu. Here's a look at the flat bed. I described it as so incredibly awesome. I was very excited. I don't have heaps to compare it to, but it's comfy and I think pretty wide until you get to the end. Lengthwise, I had heaps of space, but I'm short, like 5'3", 5'4", so you know.
Shortly, the current temperature in Singapore is at 28 degrees Celsius. Thank you for flying with Cathay Pacific and have a wonderful day. Leaving crew landing in 30 minutes.
It's now time for a quick lavatory review. It had a couple amenities, like hand sanitizer and stuff. It also had some nice wooden sort of touches. It was a decent size and had a view.
Store your table and store your hand baggage, loose items and larger devices such as laptops.
As we descend into Singapore, please allow me to conclude this flight with Cathay Pacific. The transit experience in Hong Kong was incredible. The lounges are amazing, and I really do like Hong Kong Airport. It is quite a big airport, so walking can take a little bit. Boarding was alright, I guess. It was uncomfortably hot on board, which was a bit annoying, as was the flight being slightly late. I thought the seat was great and relatively spacious. There was a solid amount of storage, a nice size IFE screen, and the main thing that I felt wasn't incredible was the privacy, but it's still decent and better than on some other airlines such as Air New Zealand's Boeing 787s. Thankfully, the cabin temperature ended up cooling down quite a bit. The appetizers were great and tasty, and the drinks were also great. Unfortunately, the main meal, which was apparently from a Michelin-starred restaurant, was nice but not that good. Apparently, some of the other meals were pretty good. The dessert food was good, although for a night flight a sweet option might have been nice. I liked that they just bring the next course when you're finished with the previous course, so it doesn't feel rushed. The crew were very friendly and professional. The in-flight entertainment, even without Wi-Fi, is great, but for me at least, having Wi-Fi would have brought it to the next level. Overall, I had another awesome flight in Cathay Pacific's business class. It was a fantastic airport experience and seat, there was great crew, and mostly very tasty food. But the Wi-Fi problem and heat on the ground wasn't great. We'll soon pull into the gate in Singapore, about 35 minutes late. But for now, enjoy the rest of the approach and landing on Singapore Changi Airport's runway 20 right.
Hello everyone, welcome to Singapore. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. So please be careful when opening the overhead compartment so that the items inside do not fall out. It has been great pleasure taking care of you today. Once again, we sincerely apologize for the delay and we thank you for your patience and understanding. Thank you for flying Cathay Pacific, a member of the One World Line. Have a good evening.
歡迎嚟到新加坡，為安全起見，請留喺座位並保持安全帶扣上，直至扣上安全帶燈號熄滅為止。
This is probably me finally figuring out what this thing does. As we disembark, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching today's video. As I said in my last business class video, I feel extremely lucky and am so incredibly grateful to be able to do these flights. I'd like to thank all of my incredible Patreons for helping to make these videos possible. Their support is truly so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without them. So thank you so much to them. Once again, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you my next one next Saturday at 5 PM Melbourne time.